In this video, we're going to think about what happens when we multiply or divide by 10, 100, or 1,000. So let's just start with an example. Let's say we want to figure out what 237 times 10 is. Pause this video and see if you can have a go at it. All right, well, one way to think about it is this is 237 tens. So if I put my place values here, so this is the thousands place, this is the hundreds place. I'm just not writing it out in words just to save space. Sometimes you'll see it written out as the word thousands and hundreds. This is the tens place, and then this is the ones place. Well, if I were to just say 7 tens, I would put the 7 over there. If I were to say 37 tens, I would write it like this, because 30 tens is 300s. And if I were to say 237 tens, I would write it just like that, because 200 tens is 2,000s. And so what just happened? Well, all of my digits shifted one place to the left. So what used to be in the ones place is now in the tens place. What used to be in the tens place is now in the hundreds place. And what used to be in the hundreds place is now in the thousands place. But what's in the ones place? I have to put something in the ones place. Well, we no longer have any ones in this product, so we would just put a 0 there. So 237 times 10 is 2,370. Now, one way to think about it is when I multiplied by 10, I really just I put a 0 right over here at the end of this number, but it's important to realize that what really happened is I shifted all my digits one place to the left. But what if we were to go in the other direction? What if we were to take, I don't know, 450, and we were to divide it by 10? Well, you could imagine if multiplying by 10 shifts the digits one place to the left, then dividing by 10 is going to shift the digits one place to the right. And so we have a 4 in the hundreds place, we have a 5 in the tens place, and we have nothing in the ones place. And so what used to be in the hundreds place will now be in the tens place. So I will put that 4 right over there. And then what used to be in the tens place is now going to be in the ones place. So I will put that 5 over there. And we had nothing in the ones place. If we did, and this is a little bit out of this video's purpose, but you could start to think what might happen if this was not a 0. But we have 450 divided by 10 is 45, and it is indeed 45. Now, another way to think about it, other than the fact that all of the digits shifted one place to the right, is that we removed this right 0 here when we divided by 10. Now let's extend that. Let's say that we had 359 times 100. Pause this video and see if you can figure out what that is going to be. Well, there's two ways that you could think about it. You could just think of it in terms of this is 359 hundreds. So let's put some places here. So let's say this is the 10,000s place. This is the thousands place. This is the hundreds place. This is the tens place. And this is the ones place. So if you were to say 900s, you would go right over there. If you were to say 5900s, it would be like that because 50 hundreds are 5,000s. And if you were to say 359 hundreds, well, 300 hundreds is 3 10,000s. And of course, in this scenario now, you would have no tens and no ones. And so what we see happened is all of the digits shifted 2 places to the left. What was in the ones place is now in the hundreds place. What was in the tens place is now in the thousands place. And what was in the hundreds place is now in the 10,000s place. And so this product is 35,900. Now another way you could think about it is this is the same thing as 359 times 10 times 10. And we already know that every time you multiply by 10, you shift your digits one place to the left. So if you're going to multiply by 10 twice, you're going to shift all your digits 2 places to the left, which is exactly what happened here. So based on that, what do you think, or based on everything we've looked at, what do you think if I were to take 75,000 and I wanted to divide it by 100? What do you think this is going to be? Pause the video and see if you can work through it on your own. All right, Well, we've already seen if you divide by 10, you shift the digits one place to the right. And dividing by 100 is really the same thing as dividing by 10 twice. So we really just need to shift all our digits 2 places to the right. So what used to be in the 10,000s place is now going to go to the hundreds place. What used to be in the thousands place is now going to be in the tens place. And what used to be in the hundreds place is now going to go into the ones place. And so what we are going to get is, instead of 7 10,000s, we're going to get 7 hundreds. Instead of 5 thousands, we are going to get 5 tens. And then instead of 0 hundreds, we will now have 0 ones. So this is equal to 750. Another way to think about it, and we've talked about it before, if you're dividing by 100, and if you have some of these trailing zeros here, well, then you would remove 2 of these right trailing zeros. But it's really important to know why that happened. Now, you've hopefully seen a pattern, so I'll ask you 2 more questions. Let's say that someone were to walk up to you on the street and say, hey, you, what is 164 times 1,000? And they would also ask you, what is 98,000, I'll just say 98,000 divided, well, I'll say 198,000 divided by 1,000. Pause this video and see if you can do this. All right, you've probably seen the pattern now. Just as multiplying by 100 was multiplying by 10 twice, multiplying by 1,000 is multiplying by 10 3 times. So this is equal to 164, and I'll color code this, times 10 times 10 times 10. So what we're going to do is shift all the digits 3 places to the left. So instead of 164, this 4 is no longer in the ones place. It is now in the thousands place. It is now in the thousands place. And that makes sense. If you take 4 ones and you multiply it by 1,000, you're going to get 4 thousands. What was in the tens place is now in the 10,000s place. And what was in the hundreds place is now going to be in the 100,000s place. And so in order to represent this number, I have to put something in the hundreds place. Well, I have no hundreds now. I have to put something in the tens place. I have no tens now. And I have to put something in the ones place. So this is going to be 164,000. And once again, that's consistent with the pattern we saw. We've added 3 zeros to the right of this number. So similarly, what's going to happen over here? Well, we're going to shift all the digits 3 places to the right. So the 1, it's going to go 1, 2, 3 places to the right. So what was in the 100,000s place is going to go into the hundreds place. What was in the 10,000s place is going to go 1, 2, 3 places to the right. It's going to go into the tens place. And what was in the thousands place is going to shift 1, 2, 3 digits to the right. It's going to be in the ones place. Or another way to think about it is when we divide by 1,000, especially when we have these 3 trailing zeros, those are going to go away. So instead of 100,000 here, this is just going to be 100. Instead of 90,000 here, or 9 10,000s, this is just going to be 9 tens. And instead of 8,000s, this is just going to be 8. So it's equal to 198.